Captain's Law. Stardate 4765-124.24_6. The crew aboard the USS Colonel has been, dare I say, jovial the past few weeks. Upon our last mission to Earth, Starfleet has gifted every crew member new bedding for our quarters. These cozy Earth sheets, they are as soft as Picard's beautiful bald head. This material of the future, made from viscose, from bamboo, from the jungles of Earth, is truly softer than even the Leguinton's cotton they gifted us 4 years past. Counselor Troy has reported the crew feeling more well-rested than any of our years aboard the ship. Commander Worf was humming, if you can believe it. And I find myself retiring early from the evening's activities to sink into my personal cloud. It may not be befit of a captain to speak this way, but I feel truly giddy getting into bed every evening. I do feel like the attitude of the ship, because of the new bedding, will change the outlook of our missions for years to come. 10-year warranty, to be exact. I've recommended to Starfleet that every Federation ship in the galaxy be fitted with cozy Earth. P.S. Remind me to send a pair of these sheets to my mother. She, of course, deserves this as well. P.S.S. Tell Starfleet to look into making our uniforms out of this future material of cozy Earth. P.S.S. number 2. We need seatbelts on all the chairs. Guess number 1. I'm on my way. Popcorn out.
Thank you so much to the amazing Cozy Earth for sponsoring today's video. I can truly say that Cozy Earth has changed my life. You know those things that give you just like a moment of delight throughout the day? That is Cozy Earth for me. Every time I put on any of their pajamas or loungewear, or anytime I get into my bed, I just feel so happy. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it's one of those things that I could never go back from now. I recently gave one of my best friends a set of Cozy Earth sheets for a housewarming gift. A week later, she sent me a text that said, "I can't even tell you how much I love these sheets. Literally every night I'm blown away. I can never go back. I'm so obsessed." Then 3 weeks later, "Cassie, every night is such a treat. I'm actually obsessed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What's your code again?" Well, let me tell you, my code is Cassie40. It's an exclusive code, better than any of the Cozy Earth marketing promotions right now. With Mother's Day coming up, moms can be hard to buy for, but this is a perfect gift for your spouse or your child or anyone. Once again, the code is Cassie40 for 40% off your purchase. The perfect gift for anyone you want to show love, even yourself. They are my favorite. Okay, on with the show. Hey guys, welcome back to Popcorn in Bed. Thank you so much for being here. I know that I look a little orange today. I am going on a trip. My cousin gave me a spray tan. It is day 1. By day 3, it'll look gorgeous, but today I look a little, you know. So, sorry. But guess what? I'm here to watch more Star Trek with you. We are on season 3. Just like we did the last few seasons, we put all the episodes on a poll, but this time I promised to watch the 2-part season finale, so they didn't have to use one of their votes on that. So patrons voted for 4 episodes. They were actually all in the second half of the season. Okay, so I'm watching Deja Q, Yesterday's Enterprise, Sins of the Father, and Sarek. So today it'll be Deja Q and Yesterday's Enterprise. I've heard that season 3 is a lot of people's favorite. This is where it ramps up, and there was a lot of debate on if I could watch even more episodes, but here we are. These are our top 4 plus the 2-parter season finale. So I'm excited to see our crew. It's kind of funny because Carly and I started watching X-Men just last week, and we're 2 movies in. Go check out those reactions if you haven't. But I'm just getting a major load of Jean-Luc Picard and Professor Xavier, and he's similar in so many ways, but also different, and so I have to make sure I keep them separate in my mind. But he's just so cute and good, and I'm loving him. One makes me just love the other more. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's get started with Deja Q. You know how I feel about Q, so I'm keeping an open mind with these Q episodes, but maybe it's all a facade for deep insecurity, his arrogance. I'm giving him. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Okay, let's watch.
We're investigating a catastrophic threat to the population from a descending asteroidal moon.
This orbit will put it within 500 kilometers of the planet's surface.
You been able to find any explanation for this?
It is a most unusual phenomenon.
Could we blow it into pieces?
Total mass of the moon would remain the same, Commander.
The force would raise a cloud of dust around the planet, leading to a significant temperature reduction. We could be looking at our own ice age.
Oh my.
Is there any way that the Enterprise could coax that satellite back where it belongs?
Even with warp power to the tractor beam, it would mean exceeding the recommended impulse engine output by at least 47%.
Given the choice between slim and none, I'll take slim any day.
Make it so.
Make it so.
We are having an effect, but it is negligible.
I know that sound.
We're seconds from automatic shutdown.
I thought I did.
Reduce engine power.
Commander.
Ow. Dear heavens.
Q.
Red alert.
Woof! Why is Q naked?
But with the arrival of Q, we now have a good idea of the cause.
This is like Deep Impact. Wait, they think Q did this? I thought he came to help. Or maybe he did both. That seems very Q-y.
These aren't my colors!
Kind of twisted pleasure does it give you to bring terror into their lives?
Oh, I haven't the vaguest idea what you're talking about, and I have a much more serious problem. I'm no longer a member of the Continuum. They say I've spread chaos through the universe, and they've stripped me of all my powers. You don't believe me, do you?
Quite the outfit.
I stand before you defrocked.
They made you human as part of your punishment.
I could have chosen to exist as a Markovian sea lizard. Anything I wished, as long as it was mortal. And since I had only a fraction of a second to mull, I chose this and asked them to bring me here. Because in all the universe, you're the closest thing I have to a friend, Jean-Luc.
He is reading as fully human.
What is it you want, Q?
Your compassion.
Crap, he's got no powers left? He can't even help us?
What must I do to convince you people?
Die.
Oh, very clever, Worf. Eat any good books lately?
Throw him in the brig.
Delighted, Captain.
Klingon. I should have said Klingon. In my heart of hearts, I am a Klingon, Worf. So you understand I could never survive in confinement. I mean, this is cruel and unusual punishment. As a fellow Klingon, if you would speak to the captain on my behalf, I would be eternally grateful.
Be quiet, or disappear back where you came from.
You can't disappear any more than you could win a beauty contest.
How dare.
Would I permit you to lock me away if I still had all my powers?
You have fooled us too often, Q.
Please don't feel compelled now to tell me the story of the boy who cried Worf.
Computer, activate force field.
What sort of jaded game is he up to this time?
Maybe he just wants a big laugh. He'll take Brielle 4 to the edge of disaster and then pull the moon back.
I kind of believe Q this time.
You honestly think Q is telling the truth?
Oh, I agree. This is highly unlikely. We have to proceed with our current dilemma as though Q is powerless to prevent it, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We have less than 25 hours before impact, Captain.
Our chief engineer is working on ways to reinforce the tractor beam.
But if you have an evacuation plan...
We have already started moving people from the coastal areas.
I've got to tell you, Geordi is not at all optimistic.
Sensors are showing broad band emission.
They were probing for him, or he did that?
What exactly is going on?
I've been in this dungeon of yours.
No blanket? That is cruel.
This is getting on my nerves now that I have them. I could help you with this one.
Q, there are millions of lives. You have the power.
I don't have any power.
I believe him.
You cannot afford to not take that advantage, can you?
Computer, remove the force field. If you are human, which I seriously doubt, you will have to work hard to earn our trust.
I'm not worried about that, Jean-Luc. You only dislike me. There are others in the cosmos who truly despise me.
You are hereby assigned to Q for the remainder of his stay. You will escort him to Miss LaForge in engineering.
Can I have a Starfleet uniform? What are you looking at?
I was considering the possibility that you were telling the truth.
It's the ghastly truth, Mr. Data. I can now stub my toe with the best of them.
An irony. It means that you have achieved in disgrace what I have always aspired to be.
Oh.
They are a minor species in the grand scheme, not worth your envy.
Oh, I do not feel envy.
Well, that's good.
I feel nothing at all. That is part of my dilemma. What it is like to laugh or cry or to experience any human emotions.
I feel like Data does have emotions. He gets excited. Well, I guess that's his curiosity.
This is incredible.
You see something here, Q?
I think I just hurt my back.
Medical assistance to engineering.
Q, I've got a few people down on Braille 4 who are gonna be hurt.
Yes. Your marvelous plan will not only tear the moon to pieces, but your precious ship as well. I would certainly begin by examining the cause and not the symptom. Probably a black hole.
Can you recommend a way to counter the effect?
Change the gravitational constant of the universe, thereby altering the mass of the asteroid.
How am I supposed to do that?
You just do it! Where's that doctor anyway?
Changing the gravitational constant of the universe is beyond our capabilities.
Dr. Crusher.
She's back. She's got beautiful hair.
According to this, he has classic back trauma, muscle spasms.
I've been under a lot of pressure lately.
You have been a pain in our backside often enough.
Your bedside manner's admirable, Doctor.
So in his non-human form, he literally was just like this omnipotent power that didn't need food, sleep, nothing could hurt him.
The replicator can make anything you desire.
How do I know what I desire?
The selection of food is often influenced by the mood of the person ordering.
I'm in a dreadful mood.
You need comfort food.
A chocolate sundae, for example.
That too.
I have seen it have a profound psychological impact.
I'll have 10 chocolate sundaes.
Never seen anyone eat 10 chocolate sundaes.
Since I've never eaten before, I should be very hungry. This is not a moment I've been looking forward to.
I knew it. Whoopee!
I hear they drummed you out of the continuum.
I like to think of it as a significant career change.
Just one of the boys.
One of the boys with an IQ of 2005.
Seems human enough to me.
This is a dangerous creature. You have no idea why Picard would make her a member of the crew and not me.
Must be terribly frightening to be totally defenseless after all of those centuries of being omnipotent.
I still have friends in high places.
Even though he said JLP is his only closest to a friend in the universe?
The only way you're gonna survive is on the charity of others.
I'm not hungry.
That would be so dangerous to have any food you wanted the second you wanted it. It'd be great because you could have the healthy food, like someone would make it for you. It's the hardest part of eating healthy.
A life form?
Also have all the chocolate.
Receiving a signal, sir. On speaker.
Signal patterns indicate intelligence, unable to derive necessary reference to establish translation matrix.
I bet someone knows.
Calamari.
We're being hit by a field of energetic tachyons penetrating the hull.
Jordy, increase power to shields.
Increasing power by 20%.
Help me! Somebody help me!
How the mighty have fallen.
We need Whoopi on the bridge. She needs to tell them what's going on.
We have sustained light damage from an attack by an alien species known as the Calamarain.
Calamarain.
You tormented them.
A subjective term, Riker. One creature's torment is another creature's delight. They simply have no sense of humor.
I say we turn him over to them. You knew this would happen.
One can never anticipate the Calamarain. Very intelligent, but very flighty.
You must have so many enemies. Certainly you knew that if once you became mortal, some of them might look you up.
It had occurred to me.
Your real reason for being here is protection.
You're very smart, Jean-Luc. I think you'll protect me, even though I've tormented you now and again.
Human or not, I want no part of you. We will deposit you at the first starbase. Let them deal with you.
I can learn.
I've been putting together a program to extend the forward lobe of the warp field. Field coils aren't designed to envelop such a large volume, but I'm attempting to modify their alignment parameter. The moon will come to its perigee in 14 minutes.
You will escort Q to engineering. You will assist Miss LaForge. Hail the Brielle 4 science station.
Aye, sir.
So it's not heading towards Earth, it's heading towards Brielle.
To function aboard a starship or in any human activity, you must learn to form relationships.
So hard.
The moon has reached its minimum orbital distance.
We'll have to lower shields.
Proceed.
So if you'll just step aside,
Q, your experience will be most valuable to me if you can manually control the field integrity.
that would be a waste of my talents.
Get to the controls or get the hell out of here.
Who does he think he is giving me orders?
Jordy thinks he is in command here, and he is correct.
I think Data and Q are actually good for each other.
Field output.
217.
He's bored. Okay, so now we're
Extending warp
wrapping
field
it.
forward. I still believe it'll work. Increasing power to warp field and tractor beam.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Shut up,
I
Q.
will not be spoken to in this manner.
I strongly suggest that you cooperate.
Relationships.
Emergency. Shields up.
Disengage tractor beam.
Calamarian.
Shield holding.
Moving to full impulse power.
Calamarain resuming attack. They've overpowered the shield. All penetration. Deck 36 engineering.
We need all the power we have to get out of the atmosphere, Commander.
Oh.
Try activating the structural integrity field.
Yes, sir.
Deja's in it too?
Abort. Hull temperature falling.
Diverting power to forward sections now.
Now. Come on. Oh. Can Deja feel pain?
If he was mortal, he'd be dead.
Well, let's not overstate the matter here. I'm mortal and I survive. Cheers are overwhelming.
Osmotic pressure still rising. Maybe we can bypass the flow regulator.
The moon's trajectory.
All we did was buy ourselves another orbit, at most.
We drop our shields, the Calamarains go after Q again.
Commander, he's not worth it.
Billions. Billions, do they say? Millions.
You're right, of course.
He
I'm
did
extraordinarily
beautiful.
selfish, but it has served me so well in the past.
Will not serve you here.
You've been immortal all your life. You know all about dying. I've never given it a second thought, or a first one for that matter.
Must be nice.
If it hadn't been for Data, I would have been gone, and no one would have missed me, would they? Data may have sacrificed himself for me. Why?
That is his special nature. He learned the lessons of humanity well.
When I ask myself if I would have done the same for him, and I'm forced to answer, no.
You were forced.
I'm not your father confessor. You will receive no absolution from me. You have brought nothing but pain and suffering to this crew. Not entirely convinced that all this isn't your latest attempt at a puerile joke.
Joke on me, joke of the universe. The king who would be man. I don't have what it takes. Without my powers, I'm frightened of everything. I'm a coward, and I'm miserable, and I can't go on this way.
Better to be a coward and sad than sadistic and happy?
We're recalibrating his language circuits, so he can't talk yet.
But if it means anything, you're a better human than I.
What's big of him?
An unscheduled shuttle has just been launched.
You?
Shuttle occupant, identify yourself.
Don't try and talk me out of it, Jean-Luc.
Return to the ship immediately.
I just can't get used to following orders.
The plasma cloud is moving toward the shuttle.
It's easier this way. They won't bother you after I'm gone.
Engineering, prepare to extend shields.
Don't fall back on your tired cliche of charging to the rescue just in the nick of time. My life as a human being has been a dismal failure.
He's been a human being for like 6 hours.
But as a human, I would have died of boredom.
Okay, he just has to say something like that at the end. Oh, I thought they're gonna end it.
Captain, unable to transport. For some reason, I can't lock onto the shuttlecraft.
But they are still moving toward the shuttle.
Commander, the shields are frozen.
What the hell is going on?
Riker.
Not great.
Another Q?
Q!
Do I detect selfless act?
What a dreadful color.
I agree.
You know you're incorrigible, Q. You're a lost cause. I can't go to a single solar system without having to apologize for you.
But somebody had to keep an eye on you to make sure you still didn't find a way to cause trouble, even as a member of this
Limited species.
After all the things that you've done, they're still intent on keeping you safe.
A genetic weakness of the race. Well, if the Calamarains hurry up and finish me off, we can get you back on your way.
You and I both know that the Calamarain would have eventually destroyed the Enterprise, and that's really why you left, right?
I've learned my lesson, Q.
Has he not?
Fine. You got your powers back.
Ah! Think he
If
actually
you think
does.
I tormented you in the past, wait until you see what I do with you now.
Q?
I was just seeing if you were still watching.
The aliens have disappeared, and so has the shuttle.
I suppose that is the end of Q.
Au contraire, mon capitaine! He's back!
Hey, Earth, satellite, moon, orbit.
I'm forgiven! My brothers and sisters of the continuum have taken me back. I'm immortal again! Omnipotent again! My good fortune is your good fortune. Oh, you're so stolid. You weren't like that before the beard.
Q!
But I feel like celebrating.
I don't!
All right. But as myself, you have my everlasting gratitude. Until next time.
Wait, the moon.
There's a debt I wish to repay to my professor of the humanities. Think of it as a going away present.
Data, why are you laughing?
I do not know, but it was a wonderful feeling.
Captain Picard, you've done it.
However you did it, thank you.
Let's see it, Worf.
course it was Q.
Ensign, set course for Station Nagala 4.
Another selfless actor. Who is he?
Perhaps there's a residue of humanity in Q after all. And
don't bet on it, Picard.
A little selfless act. Q redeemed himself just a tiny bit for me. That was an entertaining episode. I liked Q being human for a minute and the aspects of that. He gave Data a laugh. That was sweet. And it had a happy ending. So I like when a character can change my mind. Really did not like Q. And I feel like the rest of the crew and don't fully trust him by any means, but he did get us out of a pickle. And maybe, felt like it was like to be us tiny, pathetic humans. Now I am watching yesterday's Enterprise, which is only a few episodes after the one I just watched. And let's do it.
What is it?
Just try it. You see? It's an Earth drink. Prune juice.
Oh.
Warrior's drink.
You always drink alone. It wouldn't hurt you to seek out a little companionship.
Out of all the Earth drinks, she chose prune juice?
Earth females are too fragile.
There are a few on this ship that would find you tame.
Impossible.
You never know till you try.
Then I'll never know.
Drink your prune juice.
Pina colada she could have done. Perhaps a strawberry daiquiri.
On my way.
Root beer? Float? Fresh squeezed orange juice? What?
Analysis, Mr. Data.
With another Calmarian?
Is it a wormhole?
Yes and no. Like a time displacement, but it does not have a discernible event horizon.
Sir, navigational subsystems are unable to give coordinates on the object.
Oh, I think his voice changed.
The dynamics of the radiation patterns.
Captain, something's happening. A new change in sensor readings.
Scanning sensors.
Okay, I feel like Whoopi Goldberg's character, I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, should be up
Lieutenant,
on the...
What are their sensor readings?
Now hear this. Fleet formation briefing and
I was gonna say, she needs to have a more influential spot on the bridge. Did we just enter multi-dimensional territory?
It's clearing now, Captain. Definitely Federation starship. Accessing registry.
Looks like they had a rough ride.
USS Enterprise.
Well, that's crazy.
Space. The final frontier.
You weren't like that before the beard, he said. I want Riker to find love. We need a good will they, won't they? Come on, Gene.
That cruiser was destroyed with all hands over 20 years ago.
The Enterprise C was last seen near the Klingon outpost Narendra 3, 22 years, 3 months, and 4 days ago.
What?
If that hypothesis is correct, the phenomenon we have just encountered would be a temporal rift in space. The rift is certainly not stable, Captain. It could collapse at any time.
Talk to each other.
Readings are sporadic. It looks like they have massive casualties, but some are still alive.
Commander, if that ship has traveled into the future, we could be dealing with variables that will alter the flow of our history.
Enterprise C is sending out a distress call, sir. Audio only.
Uh-huh.
This is Captain Garrett of the Starship Enterprise.
What?
To any Federation ship. We have been attacked by Romulan warships. Require immediate assistance.
There's no record of the Romulans ever assaulting the Enterprise C.
This is Captain Jean-Luc Picard of the Federation Starship. Stand by to receive emergency teams. Stabilize their power systems, attend to their injured, and avoid all discussions of where and when.
Klingon battlecruisers headed toward this sector.
In the future, we're at war with the Klingons again? Okay, that wasn't the ship I know, right? The one that was just... I'm so confused. It can't be, because that girl is there.
Captain Garrett?
Yes.
I'm Commander William Riker. Our emergency teams are on board your ship. We're from a Federation starship. We answered your distress call.
Crusher to transporter room. 2 to beam directly to sickbay.
Stand by for transport.
Looks like they were in a hell of a fight.
Commander William Riker.
Lieutenant Castillo, helmsman.
Shooter?
It's a real mess down here, sir.
Recommendations?
I'd hate to have to scrap her, even if she is old.
But we can't stay in this area too long. Get her underway by then, we'll escort her to Starbase 105. If not, we'll evacuate the survivors and destroy the ship.
Understood, sir.
Kainu?
We need to talk. Somehow this is all wrong. This is not the way it's supposed to be.
She must have some idea how things have changed.
I look at things, I look at people, and they just don't feel right.
What things? What people?
Your uniform, the bridge.
It's all dark.
It's not right.
It's the same bridge. Nothing has changed.
I know that. I also know it's wrong.
Me too.
There should be children on the ship.
What? Children on the Enterprise? Guinan, we're at war.
No, we're not. At least we're not supposed to be. This is a ship of peace.
Of exploration.
What you're suggesting?
I'm not suggesting. A ship from the past is not supposed to be here. It's got to go back.
I'm Captain Jean-Luc Picard.
Rachel Garrett, how's my ship?
Support systems are being restored.
We weren't picking up any other Federation ships in the sector.
What's the last thing you remember?
We were answering the distress signal from the Klingon outpost, Narendra 3.
What is going on?
Did you? This sickbay, I've never seen anything like it. And your uniforms. What ship is this, Captain?
Please try to be still.
I must insist. What ship?
You're aboard the Enterprise, Captain 1701. You have come 22 years into the future.
Does my crew know yet?
No.
I must tell them. I owe them that. Is there some reason they should not be told?
I am concerned that you return to your own time with knowledge of the future.
Return to the battle. We barely escaped with our lives. If we returned, be destroyed.
Have you any idea how this happened?
Fierce volley of photon torpedoes, we were hit.
It is possible that this exchange of fire was the catalyst for the formation of a temporal rift. History has no record of your battle with the Romulans.
We were responding to a distress call. The Romulans were attacking it. We engaged them.
It is regrettable that you did not succeed. Federation starship rescuing a Klingon outpost might have averted 20 years of war.
Something is very not right.
22 years.
But why is... Oh, what is her name?
How do you know your family's not still alive?
I don't. But imagine coming home after 22 years. Would I even recognize them?
I love a time travel episode.
You may not like the future. It's been a long war. The Federation has lost more than half of Starfleet to the Klingons.
We were negotiating a peace treaty when I left.
A lot of changes, Lieutenant. A lot of changes.
When we get a break, maybe you could fill me in on some of them.
There is a high degree of probability temporal rift is symmetrical, Captain.
Then what would happen if the Enterprise C were to fly back through it?
The Enterprise C would emerge in her own time at almost the same instant she left.
Right in the middle of the battle with the Romulans.
Yes, sir.
Is there any possibility she could survive? Then sending them back would be a death sentence.
There's no Worf, because they're at war with the Klingons.
We've restored minimal shields and the forward phaser banks.
Concentrate on the weapons system.
Our sensors have picked up Klingon warships in the sector, Captain.
Why wasn't I informed, Mr. Castillo?
Captain.
As senior officer, I want you to be my liaison to the Enterprise.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm resuming my duties, Doctor. Doctors always overprotect their patients.
And captains always push themselves too hard.
My ship and my crew need me now. 24 hours might as well be 24 years.
Can't quite figure out this one out.
I need more.
There is no more. I wish I could prove it.
Then I can't ask them to go back.
You've got to.
How can I ask them to sacrifice themselves based solely on your intuition?
Every fiber in my being says this is a mistake.
Not good enough, damn it! Not good enough! I will not ask them to die.
40 billion people have already died. This war's not supposed to be happening. You've got to send those people back to correct this.
Billion?
Every instinct is telling me this is wrong, it is dangerous, it is futile.
We've known each other a long time. You have never known me to impose myself on anyone or take a stance based on trivial or whimsical perception.
What power does Guinan have?
Have you ordered yet, Tasha?
No, not yet. Is anything wrong?
Not a thing. What can I get for you?
Just a couple of TKLs. I want to hurry. Oh, this is Lieutenant Castillo.
She knows that she's not supposed to be here.
It's just that I've never seen anything bother her before.
What did she call you? Tasha.
Yeah.
Tasha.
Most everyone calls me Castillo.
Okay, Castillo.
Think maybe I'd like it better if you called me Richard.
That's sad.
Are you suggesting that we let them return and attempt to complete their mission?
I am, Doctor.
That won't accomplish anything, sir. There's no way they can save Narendra 3.
The Enterprise C would be outmanned and outgunned.
If we send that ship back with new technology, we'll be altering the past. We're talking about restoring the past.
But how could Guinan know that history's been altered if she's been altered along with the rest of us?
Perhaps her species has a perception.
Yes, she is a different species.
Decided the consequences of that possibility are too grave to ignore.
You'd like my opinion.
I think I'm aware of your opinion.
You'd be asking 125 people to die.
die a meaningless death.
The Klingons regard honor above all else. If the crew of the Enterprise C had died fighting for the survival of a Klingon outpost, it would be considered a meaningful act of honor.
Even their deaths could have prevented this war. History will be irrevocably changed. The timeline will cease to exist. A new future will have been created.
Thank you for explaining that to me.
If she's right, we may not even be in an alternate timeline.
Who knows if we're even dead or alive?
If I interpret your facial expressions correctly, you are preoccupied with something
They're the ones that were...
No, I
had relations.
If they succeed, we will not even realize that these events occurred.
What?
I discovered long ago that she has a special wisdom. I've learned to trust it. I could arrange for you to speak with her if you...
Captain, I would be lying to you if I told you there was a chance in hell of coming out of this alive. Why doesn't your ship come back with us? The Romulans would be no match for your weaponry.
Can't do that.
You don't belong in our time any more than we belong in yours. A significant number of my crew members have expressed a desire to return, even knowing the odds. Some because they can't bear to live without their loved ones. Some because they don't like the idea of slipping out in the middle of a fight. The Federation needs another ship against the Klingons, and we'd better get used to being in the here and now.
But if you go back, it could be a great deal more helpful. The war is going very badly for the Federation. Far worse than is generally known. Starfleet Command believes that defeat is inevitable. Within 6 months, we may have no choice but to surrender.
All this may be a result of our arrival here.
One more ship will make no difference in the here and now. 22 years ago, one ship could have stopped this war before it started.
What? The Klingons are winning.
Inform the crew we're going back.
I just wanted to say good luck.
I'll try to put some of your tactical briefing to good use when we get back.
You never know.
Oh, that's really sad, actually. And also sad that she'll be gone. Ah, crap. This is just a timeline that doesn't actually...
Enterprise D, has your captain returned safely?
Acknowledged. Captain Picard is safely aboard. One Klingon bird of prey off the starboard bow.
Shouldn't she be back?
The Klingon vessel is recloaked, sir. I have no readings.
Captain Garrett, damage report. Captain Garrett.
This is Lieutenant Yar, sir. Captain Garrett is dead.
Oh, gosh. How do we get them back into their time?
I can get us back to where we're supposed to be. I believe that's what Captain Garrett would want me to do.
Sir, sensors are showing additional instability in the time rift, possibly the result of the battle with the Klingon.
Any signs of other Klingon vessels?
Our coordinates have been transmitted to the Klingon command, sir.
Sir, it is my intention to return, unless you order me not to.
How soon can your ship be ready?
We sustained moderate damage in the attack. I think we can get underway in a few hours.
Make it so.
Make it so.
One to beam to the Enterprise C. We keep saying goodbye, don't we?
I wish we had more time.
I think we have all the time we can handle. As it is.
I'm happy for her in this timeline. We have seen very little kissing on Star Trek, so I will take it. For her.
Guinan, I have to know something. What happens to me in the other timeline?
I don't have alternate biographies of the crew. As I said to the captain, it's just a feeling.
But there's something more when you look at me, isn't there? We've known each other too long.
We weren't meant to know each other at all. At least that's what I sense when I look at you. You're not supposed to be here.
Where am I supposed to be?
Dead.
Heaven or dead? Okay.
I do know it was an empty death. A death without purpose.
Oh my gosh.
I request a transfer to the Enterprise C.
We need you here.
I'm not supposed to be here, sir.
What did she say to you?
She had a death
I don't
that meant
belong
nothing.
here, sir. It's supposed to be dead.
You realize that it is very possible the Enterprise C will fail. We will continue in this timeline, in which case your life, hopefully, will continue for a long while.
That's why I'm requesting this transfer.
You don't belong on that ship, Lieutenant.
Captain Garrett belongs on that ship, but she's dead. And I think there's a certain logic in this request.
There's no logic in this at all, whether they succeed or not. Enterprise C will be destroyed.
At least, with someone at Tactical, they will have a chance to defend themselves well. Those could be the minutes that change history.
I thought we don't want to change history.
I've always known the risks that come with a Starfleet uniform. If I'm to die in one, I'd like my death to count for something.
Permission granted.
They need the Enterprise C to be destroyed, protecting Klingons, so that they can finish the peace treaty.
I'll handle Tactical. Lieutenant Tasha Yar, reporting for duty, sir.
You're not part of my crew.
I am now. Captain Picard approved my request for transfer.
This isn't a joke, Tasha. We're going back into the rift. Into battle, we're not coming back.
These are my orders, Lieutenant.
But I don't want you here.
Show me someone in your crew who can do the job better than I can.
Welcome aboard.
He's like, we're moving very fast.
As you know, we could outrun the Klingon vessels. We must protect the Enterprise C until she enters the temporal rift. And we must succeed. Let's make sure that history never forgets the name Enterprise. Guard out.
We won't. Oh my gosh. I want them to show into the Birds of Prey and Worf be like a mean Klingon captain on it. Can you imagine?
Our shields are still holding.
Sir, one of the ships is breaking off and going towards the Enterprise C.
Mr. Crusher, keep us within 200 kilometers of the Enterprise C.
Coming to 217, mark 115.
Uh-oh. I don't know which one's which. Okay, that one's that one. Okay.
Sir, the Klingons are flanking us, attempting to draw us away from the Enterprise C.
Continue fire all phases.
Pew, 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 pew. Come on.
One enemy target destroyed, sir.
If I can't stabilize them, I'll have to dump the reactor core. She'll blow.
It's buckling, Captain.
Can they get through the rift already? Go to 88 miles per hour.
Initiating emergency shutdown.
That was a movie joke. Come on!
2 minutes to a warp core breach.
How long before the Enterprise C enters the rift?
52 seconds, sir.
All remaining power to the defense
that's
systems.
too long.
Controls not responding.
Oh gosh.
Surrender and prepare to be boarded.
That will be the day.
I really liked that hop. But Riker, come on. Enter the rift! GD!
Report, Lieutenant.
Readings fluctuated momentarily.
Prepare a Class 1 sensor probe. We'll leave it behind to monitor the final closure. Mr. Crusher, lay in a course for Archer 4.
Captain, this is Guinan. Is everything all right up there?
Yes, everything's fine. Something wrong?
No, everything's fine. Sorry to bother you. Jody, tell me what Tasha Yar.
And everything's as it should be. Okay, even though my brain has a hard time comprehending time travel and the chicken before the egg, you know what I'm talking about, maybe. I really like time travel episodes and ideas. So that was a very fun episode for me. And it's crazy to think how, one thing can have rippling consequences. I mean, I just like thinking about that in good and bad. To see that we could have been at war with the Klingons for another 20 years is crazy, and how many lives were lost. The Federation was about to lose. Worf wasn't there. Riker's dead. Everybody's dead. So this is much better. We're a ship of peace and exploration with children abounding, and I really actually like Whoopi Goldberg's character. I think she does a good job on this, and I like that Picard trusted her, because it would have felt very wrong to, but that says a lot about their relationship and him. Guys, that little leap over the control board thing was a pretty good leap. It was so awesome. Okay, thank you so much for watching along with me. Next time. Okay, time for episode 17, Sins of Our Father. Now, the next episode I'm watching is called Sarek, which I know is Spock's dad, so I'm wondering if this Sins of Our Father is talking about Sarek, but I don't think he would sin because he's super nice. But also, is he still alive? Because he would be very old if this is 100 years in the future from Spock. So, I might be totally wrong. That's a strong episode name, so I'm excited. Okay, let's get to the epi.
As part of an exchange program, we are taking aboard a Klingon officer to return the recent visit of Commander Riker to the cruiser Pach. Your experience on board the Pach will prove invaluable.
Sorry, I had to.
Klingons are very thorough. I'm sure Commander Kern has studied for his assignment.
Klingon warrior.
Commander Kern is ready for transport, Captain.
Welcome aboard the Enterprise, Commander. I'm Captain Picard. This is Commander William Riker. He will be yielding the first officer's position to you.
May I take my station, sir?
I thought I might show you to your quarters first.
I am ready for duty, sir.
You will accompany us to the bridge.
No pleasantries, really, there? Okay.
I am fully aware of all Starfleet regulation. It is my intention to bring a sense of discipline that you may not be accustomed to. We shall see if you live up to your reputation. The crew awaits your orders, Captain.
His outfit sounds very leathery and uncomfortable. That's why probably he's so mad.
Engaged. Increasing to 1/3 impulse power, sir.
I don't know how I feel about Kern from what was it called again? Per. I just feel like he's a little presumptuous to come on the ship and presume that he is going to be the one to whip them into shape with discipline when really they are under the command of the best team ever, Picard and Rickard. Riker. That was not funny, guys. Picard and Rickard. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I mean, Kirk and Spock were also the best team ever, so they're tied. What? Sins of the Father. Did I say sins of our Father before? Whoa, side pony.
He just doesn't seem to like me. Every time I respond to an order, he jumps down my throat.
Problem, Geordi?
Yes, sir. It's our new first officer.
I take it he found something wrong with engineering.
Just the entire section. Trying to explain it to him, but
he wouldn't listen.
We're all going to be doing double shifts down there just to get ready for the next inspection. He's going to have to loosen up, Commander.
He's been leaning into everybody pretty hard.
Except the one guy who wouldn't really mind it.
Worf.
Please scan the asteroid field for me, Lieutenant, and report.
Approximately 2,000 small objects. None directly in our flight path.
So no course correction is necessary.
It should not be needed, sir.
Very good, Lieutenant.
Ooh. I haven't seen the Riker beard twist.
Your knowledge of our systems and procedures is very impressive. I would like to make one suggestion, sir.
A suggestion?
When I served aboard the PA, I imagine it must be very difficult for you to work with a crew that is so different. I would be happy to guide you in that regard.
No, Commander.
This is not a Klingon ship, sir.
If it were a Klingon ship, I would have killed you for offering your suggestion.
Okay.
Are you adjusting to your new environment, Commander?
I find the constraints a bit difficult to conform to.
Commander certainly appears to have the crew on its toes.
I never kill anyone at the supper table, Mr. LaForge.
Oh boy.
While I'm sure this is well prepared, is much too bland for the stomach of a Klingon.
There's something weird going on between Worf and Klug.
Are your quarters so comfortable?
They serve me.
This entire ship seems built on comfort.
Terrible.
Not the ship of a Klingon.
Can someone get him some
You cannot ask
non-squeaky clothes?
I wish to know if I have given you offense.
Find you to be a capable Starfleet officer.
Yet you dishonor me at every opportunity.
I did not know that being polite to a Starfleet officer would bring dishonor to him.
I'm a Klingon.
Perhaps your blood has thinned. I simply didn't want to hurt you. So your blood is not so thin after all.
I am a Klingon. A demonstration can be arranged.
That is the response of a Klingon. The response I would expect from my older brother.
Oh, their father.
You, our mother and father, were not going to stay long. I was left to stay with our father's friend, Lorg, until your return. You never did.
The Starfleet officer that rescued me was told by the Klingon High Command that I had no living relatives.
They assumed that I was killed with the family at Kittimer.
So you asked to serve aboard the Enterprise to watch me.
It's an excellent opportunity.
Your deception offends me, brother.
It should. You are the eldest son. The challenge is yours to make.
Challenge?
The Klingon High Council has judged our father a traitor to the Empire.
What?
My father is accused of aiding and abetting the Romulan attack on the Kittimar outpost.
The attack in which he himself was killed? But why now, after 20 years?
The charge has been made by Duras, the son of my father's greatest rival. Family name will be disgraced. It is my responsibility to clear his name or answer for his crimes. A Klingon warrior is responsible for his actions, and he is responsible for theirs. If I fail in my challenge, I will be executed.
What?
It seems only appropriate that your captain should be at your side while you make your challenge. Sure, you would do no less for me.
You guys told me. You told me that I would warm to Picard, that his style of commanding didn't always seem warm at first, but through his actions, I've just seen him be so loyal and kind, and he just loves his crew.
We arrived within the hour. You'll need a Chadich to defend you. While you are accused, you will not be allowed combat. I would be honored, chose me.
I ask you to stand with me, to be my Chadich.
Jalaznesh, the two sons of Mog, together.
For the proceedings, you will not reveal your true father.
Because it would mean my death as well if you fail. A Klingon's honor means more to him than his life. Perhaps your human values have clouded your judgment.
You are my commander, and I obey. In council chambers, you are my Chadich.
Chadich.
I am Worf, son of Mog. I have come to challenge the lies that have been spoken of my father.
I can't remember if I've already commented on how impressive the makeup is. Like, Worf had to wear that every day of filming?
Lieutenant Worf has served under my command with distinction. He has earned my admiration and my respect. It is my greatest wish that this council, in its wisdom, will clear his family name and return him to duty.
For many turns, the truth about Khitomer has lain dormant, unknown.
This is the son of his father's greatest rival?
The traitor Mog sent the defense access code to Romulan patrol ships. Thousands died on Khitomer. My father died on Khitomer. Their deaths must be avenged. Your father was a traitor. By posing this challenge, you are a traitor.
Okay, innocent before proven guilty.
Of our people. Challenge can only result in a fool's death.
Does he get a rebut?
So stands in recess. Find out everything you can about the destruction of the Khitomer outpost. Computer, presentation overview of Klingon custom and law pertaining to familial accountability.
You should not have brought the challenge. What does it matter?
I am Klingon.
Your life in the Federation.
My father
is dead. I knew your father. Served with him. This is not how I wanted to remember him. We must let the past be and protect what we have. If you leave before the Magma, no shame will come upon you. The challenge will be forgotten.
Why would you ask me to lay aside the honor of my father? Are these the words of the council?
I will not be questioned.
I think he's just trying to do him a solid.
I want you to look over the medical records from all the rescue vessels that responded to the Khitomer massacre.
I like that we're investigating. We're being like lawyers for Worf. Ah!
I should have known. Worf was right. It is a good day to die.
It does not have to come from many turns. I know who you are, Kern. Son of Mo. What? Wise choice to hide your family name. Worf has made a choice and he will die for it. You can still be safe.
He is my brother. I will not betray him.
Then you will die for him.
What's happening? Can they do that if he's his Chadicha?
Fortunately, his metabolic recovery is phenomenal. He will be all right.
Now that Duras knows his bloodlines, we will both be executed.
You sound like you've already lost, Worf.
Was that not dishonorable? Attacking him outside of court?
Both the Intrepid and the Romulan logs show a series of distress signals from Khitomer.
Just before the Intrepid's gap begins, the time base on both files are in perfect sync. Commander, somebody's been rewriting history.
Kempek urged me to drop my challenge, abandon my family honor. It was impossible to believe I was hearing a Klingon speak.
Obviously, they did not expect and never wanted this challenge. Getting close to something, Lieutenant. Something they care a great deal about protecting.
They're hiding something.
I must choose another Chadich. I would like your permission to ask one of the crew.
Choose whomever you wish.
Then I would ask you to stand with me. You may refuse with no dishonor.
I know that there are stronger and younger men from whom to choose.
I can think of no one I would rather have at my side.
Jalaznesh, Gij Ket Jagmijaj. I accept.
My challenge will proceed. He is now my Chadich.
You do not command here.
I'm not here to command.
Then you must be ready to fight. Something Starfleet does not teach you.
You may test that assumption at your convenience.
Ooh.
Worf was not the only survivor of the Khitomer massacre. A Klingon woman was found with Worf.
K-Lest. Who is she?
I don't know.
We've got to find her if she's still alive.
Would this be Worf's mom?
Riker to Captain Picard. We located another survivor, a woman who was found with Worf.
You heard of a woman called K-Lest?
She was my Ajmak, a nurse.
Then it's possible she was an eyewitness to your father's activities on Khitomer. She's living in the old quarter. I'm going to find her.
You must not go alone.
Hey, I'm your Chadich.
Chadich. Uh-oh. Okay, they overheard that. They attack Picard.
K-Lest.
What do you want?
Your help.
No.
Oh, Chadish, I know.
You also know that Worf's life is at stake.
I am dead. A long time dead. My life ended on Khitomer. I served a proud family, a strong house. All that is gone.
Family you serve need you again. Was his father a traitor?
No. Morg was loyal to the Emperor.
Then we have no way to prove Morg's innocence. And Worf will die as the son of a traitor.
You must leave now, Chadish.
Okay, we're gonna need a longer recess. Okay. Get him. Already?
You are brave, Chadish. Worf chose well.
They won't know how much you know. You may shake loose the truth.
Yes.
I will come.
For Worf.
The McVie is not complete. I bring an eyewitness to the Khitomer massacre. One who has new evidence, Kimpek.
She will die before she gives evidence.
You kill an old woman to cover your dishonor.
Are you prepared to hear her evidence in open council?
Obviously, we would not. Gilist, you can go now.
Why did you judge my father guilty when you knew he was not?
Someone had to be blamed. But only the council knew whose security code had been transmitted. Jorad.
His father.
This Habidar should have been fed to the dogs.
If the truth were known, it would shatter the council.
So let's frame him.
Worf's challenge is successful. The honor of his family must be restored.
His challenge was defeated before he ever made it. He will not be allowed to present this evidence. Judgment stands.
What?
You admit the truth and yet expect him to accept punishment? What does this say of an empire?
Please tell me this is on record.
You will not execute a member of my crew, nor will I turn his brother over to you.
This is not the Federation, Picard. If you defy an order of the High Council, the alliance with the Federation dust.
The alliance of the Federation is not based on lies, Kempuk.
If you allow him to live, I will give you something that will serve your purpose. I will accept discommodation.
We'll do this in open council.
What is discommodation?
Your heart is Klingon. It will be done.
They just get to get away with this?
Are the son of a traitor. Now I am ready.
Just tell me something's gonna happen.
Worf wants you to live. He needs you alive with your honor intact. Do not forget what he does here today.
George.
Is it like they're banishing him? But he doesn't have to die, right? Whew! That felt like so much longer than 45 minutes. We learned Worf has this brother, he comes on and is super mean to everybody. Then we learned that there's this whole Klingon conspiracy and whatnot. And Picard, of course, is just his catch a peek, and I know I'm saying it wrong, guys. I know. Chod to peek. Anyways, okay, so remember how I was like, I want to see more Worf-centric episodes, and then I've got so many. He's good. He has a good heart. I feel like Worf's relationship with his Starfleet crew is the ultimate example of how these relations could and should be between the two people. But it seems like everyone else that I've met from Klingons, and even the Starfleet attitude to some other Klingons, is kind of like, ooh. But I feel like Worf should be praised for this example, and instead they're like, you're not really Klingon, you're just a little Starfleet fanboy. But he can be both. He can be loyal to Starfleet because they're supposed to have an alliance, and them working together and learning about each other's is the beautiful part of that. Team Worf, okay? I'm telling you, that Klingon makeup is legit, and that's not CGI. I'm pretty sure that's like full physical makeup that they're doing every episode for all those people. Worf made the ultimate sacrifice for his brother, once again proving he's the man. And that line, he's like, do not let what he does today, or do not forget what your brother does here today. Do not let your children forget it. Like, okay, time for one more of season 3 before I watch the season finale, and I am watching Sarek. Okay, here we go.
The Enterprise has been given the singular honor of hosting the first meeting between the Federation and a mysterious race known as the Lagarans.
Is it true he'll be retiring after this mission?
Unofficially, that's what I hear.
So, Vulcans do live forever? Well, not forever. And we get to meet a new race?
I am Key Mendrozen, the ambassador's chief of staff. This is Sakath, his personal assistant. He will be joining us momentarily, but first we must discuss some matters of the utmost delicacy.
Why are they wearing dresses? Starfleet dresses.
I believe that the ambassador is extremely fond of Mozart.
I'm afraid it would be impossible for him to attend. Upon his arrival, he will be taken directly to his quarters, where he will remain in seclusion until we reach Legera 4.
The ambassador will not be disturbed during the voyage.
That's all we ask.
Is it gonna be the same guy?
Welcome aboard.
It totally is.
Your service honors us.
Allow me to present she who is my wife.
Captain, would you be so kind as to show us to our quarters?
I prefer to view the conference room first.
I'm sure Sakath and I can handle all the necessary details.
I will examine it for myself. They worry about my health, Captain.
They're actually worried about his health, right? They're not trying to, conspire. Ooh. Hello. Looked into my soul.
The environmental controls are ready. What's next?
What, are you in some kind of a hurry or something?
I have a date.
A date?
Instant Dumont.
Really? Gotta admit, Wes, though, I'm a bit surprised.
What, that you'd go out with me?
No, that you'd actually have the nerve to ask her. Way to go.
The room is not ready. The Garans are very sensitive in matters of protocol.
Everything will be ready before the conference begins.
It is vital that no detail be overlooked.
Perhaps we should allow these gentlemen to return to their work, Ambassador.
That will be acceptable. These walls are too bright.
What are the Lagarans, I wonder?
From what I can see, the ambassador doesn't need protection from anything.
Well, we'll respect Mr. Mendrozen's request and allow Ambassador Sarek his privacy.
Does this mean you're going to cancel the concert this evening?
Concert will go ahead as scheduled. I hope I'm not intruding.
Not at all, Captain. But Sarek is in meditation at the moment.
Sarek? I've been saying it wrong.
Her husband has taken an interest in your career. Finds it to be satisfactory.
High praise from a Vulcan. I came to invite you, and your husband, if he's available, to a Mozart recital this evening.
What a tempting offer. I doubt that the ambassador will be able to attend, but I will make it a point to ask him.
I hope to see you this evening.
As do I.
What are you hiding, human woman?
You know I am right.
My wife, you will leave me now. I require solitude.
Can I get out of here now?
You don't really think anything's gonna happen with Suzanne Dumont, do you?
At least I'm not spending the night with a good book like some people.
Let me tell you something. You get more action out of a good book than you'll ever see on this date, I'll guarantee it. She's not gonna waste her time on someone like you.
Someone like me?
She's way out of your league.
What's happening?
Just what do you think is gonna
Something
stop?
wrong?
No, sir. Nothing wrong here.
May I be excused, Commander?
What the heck? Is that swamp water making them mean or something?
There was a moment when I actually thought the two of them were going to hit each other.
It was my wife's suggestion that we attend. It seemed an ideal diversion.
Commander Data will be our featured soloist this evening.
I hope you find the performance pleasing.
The music that stood the test of time. Thousands of years in the future. Please stop looking at him like that, sir. Troy felt something that's gonna give us some answers.
I thought you were going to be at the concert last night.
I said I may be going. Suzanne wanted to go to the Arboretum.
I don't like making excuses for you.
Come on, Mom. It wasn't an official function.
You have responsibilities, and I want you to live up to them.
Don't you think you're overreacting a little?
Don't talk back to me.
What is happening?
Where do you think you're going?
Away from you.
Then I just slapped him.
Shut up, Wesley.
Beverly, this is important. What were you thinking when you hit Wes?
I was just angry.
And Wes didn't provoke you in any way. It wasn't anything he said.
It was a sudden burst of anger.
I can tell you that I've heard the same kind of story from 10 different people over the last 2 days.
There's some kind of problem here.
Well, there seems to be some question as to whose table this is.
There are plenty of other tables. Why don't I get everybody another round of drinks? All right?
I don't have to tell you that insubordination is a serious charge to be filed against any of us.
I am aware of that, Commander. However, Incident Model directly challenged my authority.
Is it my imagination, or have tempers become a little frayed on the ship lately?
me. All right, that's enough.
There have been reports of random violence all over the ship.
There's no indication of any bacteria or virus.
This is a hell of a time. I don't want it to affect the ambassador. I want his quarters isolated from the rest of the crew. But we've identified the cause.
We have determined that the outbreak of violence started virtually the same time that Sarek and his party beamed onto the ship. We do have a working theory.
Do tell.
We believe that it's possible that Ambassador Sarek himself is responsible for these incidents.
I felt something during the concert, vague and undefined, but very disturbing.
He cried. I saw that. I couldn't believe it.
What I sensed during the concert was that he'd lost control.
What would cause such a loss of control?
Bendai syndrome, sudden bursts of emotion, mostly irrational anger. Eventually, all emotional control is lost.
I can imagine nothing that would be more offensive to a Vulcan. Emotional detachment is the very core of their being. How would this affect others on board the ship?
Same question.
Sarek may unintentionally be projecting intense emotions onto other people.
Is there a treatment?
Can't someone else take his place?
He's been working on these negotiations for 93 years.
The schedule itself required 3 months of negotiation. The ambassador is in perfect health. Why am I not affected by Sarek's supposed condition? How could his wife function normally if this theory of yours is correct?
It appears to be random.
I won't report this to the ambassador for the moment. I don't want to divert his attention from the mission. But if I were you, in the interests of your career, I'd be very concerned about finding the real cause of these outbursts.
Do you consider Sarek capable of carrying out his mission?
Have I given you cause to think otherwise?
You have voiced certain reservations to me about his abilities.
I am honor-bound to help Sarek carry out this mission. That is the only answer I can give.
Then you must decide which is your greater obligation, your loyalty to Sarek or your duty to the Federation. Can you accept the logic of continuing this mission?
Tell your captain the mission is in jeopardy.
The strain of this mission on Sarek has made it impossible.
It's ironic, isn't it? All this magnificent technology, we still find ourselves susceptible to the ravages of old age.
Okay, I misjudged the guy that did this.
Even for me, time will eventually lead to irreparable circuit failure. Sarek is a logical, intelligent being. The effects of Bendai syndrome are apparent.
Logic fails us sometimes, Data. I think this is one of those times.
I don't understand this. Everyone is protecting Sarek, his wife, Mendrozen, even you.
What will you have me do? March down there and destroy the man?
Tell him that there is no way!
Don't you tell me what to do! Of course. You're right, number one.
My husband is responsible for your crew assaulting one another.
He is very ill. Very.
Bendai syndrome is more a folktale than a disease. There hasn't been a true case of it in my husband's life.
There's one now. Sakath knows.
Sakath knows nothing my husband didn't teach him.
I must see Sarek.
I know a good deal about the Vulcan mind. And I know a good deal about the heart of one particular Vulcan. He does not have Bendai syndrome, and that shall be the end of it. You must not do this to him.
Must not do what, my wife? If Captain Picard wishes to see me, he may do so.
Oh, he looks up to him so much, and that's very tough.
You were speaking of your belief that I suffer from Bendai syndrome.
I see no reason to continue this discussion.
I wish to assuage any fears the captain may have regarding my capabilities. I believe there is a test for Bendai syndrome. I will take it immediately.
Unfortunately, the results will not be available for several days. Is why I must ask for a postponement of the conference.
That would be a mistake. I give you my word. I am in perfect health.
Why must Sakath help contain your emotions?
Is what the captain says true?
No, Ambassador. Absolutely not.
Sakath?
I have been using my limited abilities to strengthen your mental discipline.
Your efforts will no longer be required.
That would not be wise.
I wish to speak with Captain Picard.
Sir, I ask you to reconsider.
Obey my wishes. There is nothing to fear.
My chief medical officer has explored all other probable causes.
The logical course would be to have your doctor continue the search.
It is also a fact that these incidents began shortly after your arrival.
Is your entire argument to be based upon mere coincidence?
It's also coincidence that your wife and your chief of staff are carefully isolating you.
You are reacting to their overprotective attitudes toward me. Am I to be blamed for the judgment of a child? Sakath is young. He erred in his assumption that I needed help.
I saw you crying.
I did not cry. You exaggerate, Captain. I recall only one tear.
So you were emotionally affected by the music.
That is not possible.
Oh, I don't like them fighting.
It was late. I was fatigued. Nothing more. I must be allowed to complete my mission. There are no other logical solutions.
But, Ambassador, there are always other solutions. You have said so yourself many times.
Your efforts to discredit me will not succeed.
I hear anger in your voice.
It would be illogical for a Vulcan to show anger. It would be illogical.
I will present our regrets to the Lagarans personally. Vital that they understand our reasons for canceling these negotiations.
I think you did the right thing.
But at what cost, number one?
I must speak with you, Captain. I've come to ask you to reconsider your position.
You know that is impossible.
He's given the Federation a lifetime of service.
Well, what if he blows up?
Mendrosen and I never wanted to deceive you. We convinced ourselves that he could complete this one last task and end his career with dignity.
What if Troy and Sacketh, both, like, suck in his powers for a minute?
A mind meld between the two of us. Do you realize the dangers involved in what you are proposing?
I've seen it done.
We would be linked telepathically, sharing our thoughts.
Which for a few hours should provide the emotional control you need. In that time, you can meet with the Lagarans and conclude the treaty.
I must warn you that while I would gain your stability, you would experience the fierce onslaught of emotion by my condition.
But it is the only logical solution.
Maybe they can just put Picard in like a padded room for a couple hours and he can rage and they can do the negotiations. Oh, this is what Spock and Bones did that one time, remember?
Please inform the Lagaran delegation that Sarek of Vulcan is on his way to welcome them.
Yes, Ambassador. Is Captain Picard all right?
Don't worry, number one.
No! It is wrong. It is wrong! A lifetime of discipline washed away. Bedlam. Bedlam! There is nothing left. Tired. Oh, so tired. This weakness disgusts me. I hate it!
This is weird to watch.
Give me back my control.
Jean-Luc.
Herod. A man. I wanted to give you so much more.
I'm so scared.
Spock.
Spock, what?
Did you know, Baron? And you know how much I love you. Love you. Beverly.
I'm here, Jean-Luc. I'm not going anywhere.
Stop.
Oh my gosh.
Don't even try.
Oh, it almost seems abusive that they have to hold down their emotions so much because it's their way. But like,
Ambassador Sarek has successfully concluded the negotiations with the Lagarans.
they have to just suppress and suppress and suppress and suppress and then...
The effects of Ben-Dyer syndrome are irreversible. Medical research is always continuing.
He loves you.
I knew it.
Very much.
I know. I've always known.
I will take my leave of you now, Captain. I do not think we shall meet again.
I hope you are wrong, Ambassador.
We shall always retain the best part of the other
Aww.
inside us.
That's cool.
I have the better part of that bargain, Ambassador. Peace and long life.
Live long and prosper.
I've been working on it. Can't get it totally straight. Can I just say that acting right there by Patrick Stewart? He better get an Emmy or something for that scene. Makes me want to cry a little bit. I think I have the opposite of what the Vulcans have. That was a really good episode. I actually think, back to the poll, that was probably the highest voted one, I'm pretty sure. But I can see why. It was so good to see a familiar face from TOS. I just really loved every part of the episode. The whole story about the Ben-Dyer syndrome and him dealing with it. And especially when you saw what Sarek was holding in his whole life and what he has to suppress and Jean-Luc, what he went through. I kind of wanted to see what kind of people or creature the Lagarians were. I was a little bit curious about their slime tank, but maybe in the future. I loved that he was able to do his last mission with dignity, and Picard put that on himself and took the risks, and I think that's so cool that they take the best parts of each other and that stays with them. I love the chemistry we're seeing between Dr. Crusher and Picard. I hope that continues. I just really liked that episode. It was thoroughly entertaining and thoughtful, and it was kind of funny to see not funny, a little funny. It was a little funny to see the crew like blowing up at each other when they would not normally be like that at all. And I feel like that speaks volumes about them because it was so weird, when that's kind of normal human behavior these days for us, is the jumping to conclusions, the putting each other down, but they realized how odd that was because normally they're so nice to each other and give each other the benefit of the doubt, which we should all try to do a little bit better. Okay, that was really fun. Now the season finale, next part. Okay, thank you so much for watching along with me. Picard out.